everyone, and welcome back to Talk Time Tuesday. My name is Louise and I am a mom. I am also a family and child development consultant, and my emphasis is on the psychodynamics of human development. Today we explore the second topic in our series on why children misbehave. And today's topic is verbal communication. Now, forgive me because I think I have a shadow somewhere here, but it's the time of day and we're moving into summer and shadows are all over the place. Now give this a try for me. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to spend half your day or a few hours in your day communicating with the people around you without using verbal or written communication. Now at the end of the day, I want you to assess, at the end of the day and throughout the day, I'd like you to assess how you're feeling, how it's making you feel not being able to communicate verbally or with written communication. Now when you figure out how that's making you feel, double the impact of that feeling or even triple the impact of that feeling. The thing is, although you may not have been able to communicate effectively with the people around you through written or verbal communication, you were still able to meet most of your needs. So when it was time to feed yourself, you knew how to feed yourself. If you needed to go to the bathroom, you knew where to go and you could independently take yourself to the bathroom. If you needed to sleep, you knew, I'm tired, I need to close my eyes, I need to rest. If you had a tummy ache, for instance, you knew what to do. You knew it was a tummy ache. If you had something in your eye, you knew you could take it out. If you were experiencing feelings in your body and in your mind, it's very likely you knew what it was. It could be sadness, it could be nervousness, it could be just the headache. But you would know what to do, and you would know what it is, and you would know what to do. Our children who have not yet developed mature verbal communication skills struggle to tell us what is happening to them because they can't write it down or explain it verbally. So they cry and they have tantrums because it's often the most effective tool of communication that they have. And oftentimes it's after they have already communicated to us in other ways that something was happening to them. So they may have been yawning to indicate that they were tired. They may have turned away from an overstimulating experience, or they may have been unusually quiet because they were experiencing some type of new emotion that they couldn't really express and they didn't know what to do with. It's really important that we pay attention to our children's cues and we're in tune enough to see when it's happening because it's their first point of communication with us. Now, although older children are verbal, they also struggle with communicating to us, and so they require a bit more support and reinforcement around their emotional learning and development from the adults in their lives. Emotional learning begins at a very young age. Children tend to have less mature emotional expressions and emotional regulations. So I know you may think, well, my 7-year-old daughter is really fluent verbally. She has a really good vocabulary and she communicates effectively. But that's with everything else. When it comes to her emotional development, she's not yet fully emotionally mature. And so she doesn't always understand what's happening within her, and she may still find it difficult to communicate what's happening to her emotionally in a verbal way to you. Now, emotional development also occurs in a particular context and environment. Children need to be supported to develop emotionally, and part of this includes acknowledging emotions in your children and not shaming them for it. So I'm talking about not telling your daughter not to cry because she's a big girl, and not telling off your son because he's angry. There is a place for anger. It's what we do when we're angry that's important. Now, emotional development in children does not happen in isolation. They can't develop it on their own. It has to happen with our very active input as parents. Now, I will be addressing emotional development really soon, so please hit that notification bell and please keep an eye out on all our platforms so you don't miss out on when we release our content on emotional development, because it promises to be really informative. Now, if you get nothing else from what I said today, I want you to get this. Every behavior in our children is them communicating something to us. Now, of course, you want to stop any type of dangerous behavior immediately. But before you go ahead and punish your child, you need to consider why the behavior happened. Figure out what it is they're trying to communicate to you. The last thing you want to do is punish your child for trying to communicate to you that something was happening to them or that they had a problem. Children will eventually learn to communicate effectively, but this can only happen if we support them in learning how to communicate too. At this point in time in their lives, they actually need us to almost decipher or figure out what is happening to them. Now remember, it's not the behavior. The problem is what's causing the behavior. And once you attend to the cause of a behavior, you attend to the behavior itself. Now, thank you for joining us today. Stick with us throughout the week by joining us on all our platforms, liking, subscribing, and following us so you never miss any of our content. Have a lovely week and see you next Tuesday.